Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri, and is the world's first single barrel only liquor store. This business is owned and operated by Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution list. That way you'll know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and what barrel picks they have in the works. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we discuss what makes the ABV Network so successful. My name is McNew. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Kathy Cool, Darren McElroy, and Ryan Thompson.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hey, guys.
What's up, guys?
Hello. So, yes, we are going to have a good show today. We're going to be talking about the ABV Network and why we think it's successful. I run the thing and I don't even fully understand myself sometimes. So we'll talk about that. It'll be interesting to see your guys' take on that. But before we get to all that stuff,
one word. But before we get into that, we'll have known small talk. But I got one word, Akeley. So
okay, go ahead. What's the one word?
No, I'm going to save it for the actual topic.
Oh, okay. That's a preview, folks. Yeah, that's a preview.
Yeah.
All right.
Get a little bit of teasing going over your spot there.
I thought so. McNew, what do you got for us? What do you want to talk about?
Okay, so does your mom, dad, actually any elder person in your life try to pawn shit off on you on a regular basis?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm talking just crap from their house, where my mom's like, you have more rooms than me. Take this with you. I'm like, ma'am, I am not your storage unit. Does this happen to everyone else?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Oh,
Parents try to
My
do that
God.
stuff. They they don't want to throw shit away, but they all but they don't want to keep it either. So they're just like, here you go.
The older they get, the worse it gets, I think.
Right. Oh yeah.
Well, McNew, not to get morbid on this topic at all, but I've lost both my folks in the last 5.5 years, and my sister, brother, and I have had this conversation quite a bit lately, and it's we're like, we don't want this stuff, and who's going to miss it, and let's just maybe toss it. It's family history, yes and no. We want to save some of it, but overall, it's just going to go to us, and it's going to go to our kids and our grandkids and their grandkids, and then in the end, we're just like, you're just hauling around stuff that no one really.
I agree. So like, we lost my dad, and my mom's like purging stuff, and my brother and I are like, we don't want it. We don't want it. And my mom cannot grasp this. She's like, you might someday. I'm like, no.
She just can't bring herself to throw it away.
Yeah.
But she doesn't
This is a
want
vase from my mom's house, and that's one of the few things I've kept, and it's sitting right here on my table. So.
Well, see, that's a good thing, though. If you take something that meant something to a parent, as part of your life because it belonged to your parents, I think that's the cool stuff to keep. Not necessarily anything that's valuable, which those things can be nice too if they have something that's valuable that you want, but it doesn't have to be valuable to be very neat and special. So yeah, that's the cool thing.
But sometimes you get junk, right? So my mom, she lures me in, right, with something useful. She's like, hey, I have these shelves. They match what's in your pantry. Do you want them for the other side? I said, yes, we will take those shelves. That would be helpful. Thank you. So then I get there and she's like, here's a tote of this. Here's a tote of that. I don't want that. And then I came home with an Atari that's never been opened. I don't know why I came home with that.
Atari.
And then
I'll buy that from you right now if you have an Atari.
There you go. You got a legitimate offer on that, McNew, on the
I will
Atari.
ship it to you. And then a blender from the 80s that is older than me. I'm like,
blenders from the 80s know how to chop, though.
Okay,
Those
but
things-
That's true.
Like short
Good.
out or something. Like I'm a little afraid.
No,
of it.
you're better off getting that than the crap you buy today. That's
Okay.
meant to be disposable. That was meant to last. They built the shit back then. It's like, okay, you buy a blender and then that's it.
The
Now
blender
today,
my
that's
mom gave me can chop up a whole thing of ice.
All right. I might try it out, but I'm a little afraid of it. But I went for shelves and came back with so much more.
Well, there you go.
Me into it.
You can take it to Goodwill.
Kathy, can we dive into this a little bit? So you have a blender that chops up ice. How do you know this? What happened? How do you know
I was making margaritas.
Imagine that.
That's where I was going with it. Yep.
A whole pitcher. And I just put the ice in and chopped that crap right up.
Yeah, she said, you're going
to. But my blender's probably from the 50s or 60s.
Oh,
and it's still going strong? All right. I want to give this one from the 80s a good try then. We'll see.
It's Tone Loc era.
So here's the difference for me. I mean, I know Darren hasn't chimed in yet. My dad is gone. And when my dad died, my mom wasn't, of course, doing any of the yard work or using the tools. I'm like, I want all that stuff. I want all the yard tools. I want all the power tools. I want all that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, she, I guess she forgot. She gave it all away. Other people. But now it's her wanting me to move in with her. So instead of her giving me things, she wants me to give her my entire life.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Wow.
Wait, so she wants you to give her your stuff?
All my stuff, everything, I can move in and live with her. There's no room in the house for me or my stuff or my two unruly dogs.
Bedroom back. You get your high school bedroom back.
Yeah, you're single.
She's
You
been
really
to
want to
my
live with your
house where I
mom when you're
grew up,
single?
so-
Yeah. Oh,
Just-
I know.
She wants me to take all that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what she would do if I came into her house with my dogs and my booze?
Yeah.
Yeah, careful what she wishes for, huh?
Right?
Yeah.
She could learn real quick.
Exactly.
It's going to be like, can you leave? Weekend, please leave.
Yeah. So, Darren, how about you, man? What are your
The
thoughts?
other week, my grandmother was like, "Hey, I have some stuff that I want," and it was automatically like, "That's not a great start to this conversation," because usually she'll ask my sisters first, and my sisters will like throw it. Yeah, we don't really have use for that. Darren definitely doesn't have use for that. He's useless as he is, so we don't need more junk for him. But she was like, "I have these old cameras." She's like, "All they do is sit in a box, and I just want them to get used." And so I started looking at the cameras because they look cool. They all came out before I was born. I was like, so they were film cameras. I'm like, you can't even buy film nowadays. You want me to actually use these?
By the way, Darren's
I'll take
23, so this is the
I
camera's
was
not
going to
even
say,
that
Darren,
old.
what year were you born?
They're not even that old.
9. So just not that long ago. But the cameras
what year?
99.
99.
Okay.
Yeah.
So but they were cool. I was like, I'll take them and put them on a shelf and use them as display pieces. And she's like, "No, I want you to use them." I'm like, I can't. I'm not gonna waste
Just
the
tell
time
her
to
you're
find
using
film.
them, and then show her videos you made on your phone.
Yeah, she probably won't. Just put like, what is it? Like that sepia tone on it. She won't know. It'll be fine.
She won't know. There you go. Sepia tone.
McNew, is it sepia tone or sepia tone?
I think it's sepia.
No.
I think it's
Steve doesn't
sepia,
know.
but it is
Let
definitely
her
not.
preface this by saying she doesn't know.
It's not prefacing, nor is it heretic.
Darren, I think you should take those cameras.
Stick them up your ass.
No, not at all.
I was wondering the way you said it. I thought this was going to be something.
Not at all.
I'm going to, Darren. You're going to take those cameras and you're going to take both hands.
I think the opposite.
And you're going to
find some film to put in them,
so
take a couple
aggressive.
pics, and see what happens. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. That ended up being
I
a very
would turn
nice
them
story.
into either a still or a container to store whiskey.
Yeah, there you go. Well, yeah, fair enough. I don't know what that means. All right. On that note, it is time to drink. What is everyone drinking? I'm going first.
Did Akeley just mumble under his breath? I don't know what that means.
I feel like we're getting like
It was pretty clear. I don't think it was mumbled at all.
I have Hardin's Creek here. So Hardin's Creek. All right, here we go. Oh, that was legit terrible. Hardly any pop, and then
road for me. That was good.
The slosh was as loud as the pop. I'm embarrassed by that. I really
I would have taken a victory by that if I were
I
you.
humiliated myself there. All right.
Ryan would have been throwing his hands up.
Damn right I would have been.
All right. McNew, you're next. What do you got?
Have some Yellowstone.
It took her 2 swings, but she got it. First one, yeah. All right, McNew's got the lead. Darren, you're next.
Wait. McNew took 2 tries.
But it also made a sound.
It's off the first time.
It didn't make a sound. Yeah.
If there's 2 tries, I think we need to minus some points.
It wasn't a 2 try. I just messed up.
It's on video, McNew.
Yeah, it is on video. Yeah, it is on
Okay,
video.
well then it doesn't count. It's fine.
All right. Darren, what do you got?
Hard Sound Discovery Series. We
Okay.
tried to pick bottles I hadn't opened in a while, hoping I could get some sound. And it hasn't worked yet, so let's hope.
Okay. Well, that was your best one, but not enough. McNew's got the lead. Kathy's next.
I'm going to drink something from Tent Mountain.
Okay.
Ew.
Oh.
It's been open. It's about, I don't know, third gone.
Okay. Basie. That's good.
That's a winner to me. That sounds like a winner.
Trying to kick it off first place.
Sounds like second place.
We can throw it to Ryan.
McNew has the lead. Ryan, what do you got?
I'm nervous being in last place here, but I was at the old bottle shop down the road tonight, and I was looking for a couple bottles that is going to be on discussion here, maybe the next deal. So unfortunately, they didn't have a lot going on that I could buy, but my buddy that runs that liquor store just down the hill is like, hey, man, I got a little Midwinter's Night dram for you if you want that. So
there you go. That's popular.
Yep, I got to give a shout out to these guys just down I-70, about 6.5 hours from us. So let's stop talking and see what happens. Woo! Let's go!
There was absolutely no noise.
No noise.
There's nothing.
We got you screaming like a girl. We did get that, but yeah.
It was a monkey, Steve, not a girl.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fair
So
enough.
good.
Oh, no, McNew wins. So cheers,
You know
Darren.
what? Ryan looks so happy. I'm gonna give you like a consolation. You can win this one.
I'll take it, McNew. I'll take it.
Gold
Thank you.
star. You get a gold star. So
We can all pretend like it was big.
It looked like it was.
Well, Ryan's been
Not
dealing
the
with that
first
his whole
time in my
life,
life,
so,
Kathy. Not the first time in my life.
Yeah, that's fair enough. All right, what we'll do next, we'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to be talking about what makes the ABV Network successful. We'll do that in just a few. Let's talk about the people who make these shows happen. First up is the ABV Barrel Shop. It is the most unique shopping experience in the world of bourbon, as the ABV Barrel Shop only sells single barrels. Owners Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot select. With over 100 distilleries on board to sell us barrels, we are home to the most unique and diverse barrel pick selections in the bourbon world. By signing up for our email, you will always know what we have in stock. In addition to the single barrels, we'll have a gift shop featuring ABV Barrel Shop as well as ABV Network merchandise. We are partnering with vendors like Art Eatables and Old Man Bay Signs to bring you unique items you can't find anywhere else. We will also have a 24-seat classroom where we are offering educational and fun classes like Breakfast and Bourbon, a series where we pair donuts and bourbon, customer barrel picks, and opportunities to learn from master distillers and other bourbon dignitaries. Best of all, we feature a tasting bar where you can try before you buy. All of this is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. If you are in the St. Louis area, please stop by to say hi. If you're traveling in from outside the area, please take advantage of our hotel rates with the Drury Inn and Pear Tree Inn, less than a mile from our shop. This can be done via the links in our Visit St. Louis section on our website. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to plan your trip. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. Hi, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network. We're sponsored by the Stave and Thief Society. This is where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge a bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification program available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Okay, let's talk about the Neely Family Distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows, and we became friends during my frequent trips to Kentucky. Today, he is amongst the leaders of young distillers leaving their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery yields insight on their unique family history, why their products are special, and gives you the opportunity to taste their whiskey, moonshine, and creams. Check them out at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com or visit them in Sparta, Kentucky.
This is also Freddie Mills going underneath the alias of Danny Kennard. You can find me on Facebook at any time. Just look up Danny Kennard, but I am Freddie Mills. Trust me.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking about what makes the ABV Network successful.
What is it? What's the secret sauce? What do we got here? What's
I got
happening?
one answer, buddy.
Okay.
Consistency.
Consistency. Huh?
I have
There
a
could be something
different
said for that. I feel like there could be something said for that. We are consistent. We got a show that comes out every day.
To be said, but there's a lot to be said for it. You're dedicated. You cut the rope from the corporate world. You're into it. You're doing all kinds of stuff. You're consistent. You put these deals out every day. You talk about the business. You're in the business. You know what's coming up. You know what's happening. So that's what it all comes down to, consistency. That's why it's been successful, I think.
I think so. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I think that's important. Yeah, we get Bourbon Zeppelin comes out twice a month. We have Quick Bourbon Notes comes out every week. We have this show comes out every day. Bourbon show comes out 6 times a month. And we never miss any of that stuff. It's all comes out somehow, some way. It just works. So yeah, that's good. All right, Kathy, you had your hand up. What do you?
I did. I have a different answer. I think it's because it's dynamic. It's always changing.
Dynamic. Yeah,
it's never, you don't, when things need to change, you change them.
Yeah.
So when you weren't able to do in-person meets, you went to Zoom meets and you grew from the Zoom meets. And then
Good call.
You're in the barrel shop and now you're growing from the barrel shop. And so it's always dynamic. It's certainly not about your ego.
No. My ego. Yes, I have a huge ego, of course.
Well, that's why you had to have a show about what makes you successful.
Exactly. Yeah.
Kathy, let's rewind a little bit. A couple maybe weeks, couple months ago, we were talking about, I don't know what it was, but I know Tim was on the call with us on the podcast, and but we were talking about different things about influencers in the business. And Akeley was the last person to drop his name, so I dropped it for him. And I'm like, Akeley, you're an influencer in the business, dude. So I think ego aside is a big part of why ABV Networks is
thank you.
Successful.
So to tag off of that, like setting your ego aside, is the community, Steve. Like you have built this whole community of people, whether it's distillers, business owners, and just whiskey bourbon fans. Like you brought the fans into like an inner world like they would never get to have access to otherwise. Yeah. And that's such a huge impact. Yeah, that is cool. Life-changing, like once in a lifetime events that you create for people. And that's a bigger deal than you think it is.
I get that a little. I mean, I did an article this week because I brought Tony in and he got to see all this cool stuff he would have never been exposed to. And then I just got to thinking, I'm like, there are people that do what I do that are way better known than me, that have, work with nationally stuff. They're on the Today Show talking about bourbon. They're huge names and things like they have access to way more stuff than I do. There's people with podcasts that get access to way more stuff than I do. Name one time you've ever seen them just taking fans with them to stuff like that. Name one time when there's ever a photo of the master distiller, that person, and a fan that they brought with them. Zero, because talk about egos. Their egos are, it's not special if I give this to other people. It's special because they're putting me on a pedestal when I go there, and I don't feel that way. And while I do have a huge ego, that I do. It's important.
We all laugh because we know you don't. So
it's important to me to share all this stuff. It doesn't feel like it's as cool to me if I'm just going by myself and doing barrel pitch.
Right there is why you're successful.
I guess. Yeah. I just don't. I feel like, man, you can bring X amount of people. Why not bring as many as they'll allow and give everybody a chance to experience this? Because I think it's the coolest thing ever. I feel like I lucked myself into what is my dream life, and I want others to be able to share.
I disagree with the fact that you lucked yourself into it. You worked your ass off.
Yeah.
And you still do. It'll be 5 a.m. and there's an email from Steve, and I'm like, dude, it's fucking 4 a.m. where you are. Like Steve.
That's my old man superpower. I wake up early, so yeah. That's the only thing I got.
I mean, you're being humble that you lucked yourself into it, but no, you worked your ass off into it, bud.
Well,
how many couches and offices did you sleep in?
Yes, well, that's when I get angry. I start bringing that up. That's usually a bad sign when I start yelling about the times I spent laying on couches just to try to make this thing work.
Well, and you're still a fan yourself, Steve. Like, you still get excited for a barrel pick. You still get excited for talking to somebody. You're still a fan at your heart, and I think that's a big deal too. Because some people get involved and they're like,
because they get big and then they think they're the celebrity. They think when they go in and they see Freddie Johnson, they'll be like, well, he should be bowing down to me because I'm a big deal. I have a podcast.
You're still a fan.
Fuck that. Freddie Johnson's the star.
I'm excited to go hang out with Akeley next Friday night. I tell you that.
Which is tomorrow night. The day
I might ask for an autograph.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. So if you're listening to this, come by on Friday night and see Ryan at the shop.
Tony Vitale is actually very excited to meet Ryan. He loves the 10th Mountain whiskey.
He does. So
and he's the one that went to Texas.
He was telling people about that today. They're looking at what's their favorite one. He's like, you got to get the 10th Mountain. That's the best thing here. So, yeah.
My God, love this guy. Absolutely.
Oh yeah. Tony Vitale. He doesn't listen to the show though, so he's mad. He's mad he didn't win a super fan award because we got people that sit at the tasting bar. They talk about this shit too because we just had a class of super fans going, and he's mad he didn't get super fan, but he doesn't listen to the shows. He's like,
he doesn't listen to the shows.
He doesn't listen to the Bourbon Daily or anything. He doesn't listen.
You gotta listen.
Yeah.
So I could walk in and be like, "Who's McNew?" No,
right,
Tony, do better, Tony.
Who is McNew? That sounds like a book title.
He would know that.
Who is McNew?
Yeah, exactly. Well,
you should copyright that before someone takes it, so you can write your life story.
Yes. So Darren,
I'm going to go back to my original answer. Be like, you're consistent. You're in it. You're friendly. You appreciate everybody. So. I mean, I think that's what it comes down to, man. So that's why
it comes down to my answer being dynamic.
I think dynamic is an all-encompassing word. That probably is the best word, Kathy. Got it.
I'll take you out, Ryan. I mean, it's
I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you. I think dynamic's great.
Dynamic. Yeah.
I think the way you conduct yourself and the way you carry yourself, let's put it in show terms, really grows your VIP-ness. Use that to its full potential all the time.
Oh yeah,
you're consistent. You've been doing it a long time, and you never know what you're going to get to hear when you turn on one of the shows. That's my favorite thing about it. It is never going to be the same exact words said. There's always going to be tangents and chaos.
Different things. Yeah.
The revolve around whiskey just doesn't.
Yeah. This show is a snapshot of the ABV Network. I think this is the true look at who we are, because we get a big cast of people that are involved, and it rotates who's on and who's not. And you've got myself, McNew, and Becca, the three that are the consistent ones, and then everyone else kind of comes and goes. But yes, it's a cool thing. I do think that this show is special for sure. It definitely means a lot to me to be able to do that. To put out a daily show. People say you couldn't do it, and I don't think most people could, only because coming up with the topics. I think doing your first 75 shows, you'd be pumped up, and then now I got to do number 76 for tomorrow, and then after that I'm going to have to do number 77 for the next day.
Consistency, buddy. Consistency.
Yeah. So
let's talk. When did you first start?
The first thing, I mean, it all goes back to writing. I mean, I first started writing in 2013, so when that leads me down to the bourbon journey but I didn't write about bourbon at first. So you've got probably 2 years where I didn't.
And
we
met in 2014, I think it was, right? When we started.
So 2014. So that's when I wrote my first bourbon stuff in 2014. But
then when did the ABV network itself birth and
okay, so then you get some I write some books and a couple of them just moderate success, like the book that you were in, just so. The one that takes off though was the bourbon mixology, and it was actually volume 2 because I wrote the book that Ryan's in, and then I did a book, a cocktail book I called Bourbon Mixology, ends up being volume 1, based on the distillers asking them for, do you have any bourbon cocktails, and I made like a cocktail book. It was like a secondary book. So the idea is you try to sell 2 books when you're selling the books. So then I come up with this idea of, well, that actually did as good as the other book, the mixology book. I should do one where you write the best cocktail recipes, and that was in 2015. So Christmas of 2015, that book takes off, and it gets to be a big deal on Amazon. It's the number 2 selling item if you search bourbon. So that ends up being just a self-published guy, and that starts leading to the stuff then. And so in 2016, I was like, I got to turn this into something. Initially, after Christmas of 2015, I'm trying to write for other people. No one cares that I have a successful book. No one hires me, no magazines or anything like that. So then I was like, I'll start my own thing. And in January of 2016, I started teasing something I've got called Bourbon Zeppelin. And I put out there, Bourbon Zeppelin's coming. And I thought, I'll just do this whole marketing campaign for 6 months and not tell anybody even what it is. I'm like, the Zepp is coming, and get ready for the Zeppelin. And then I'm talking to all my friends who write and get them to write for me. And then that launched June 1st, 2016. Bourbon Zeppelin comes out. And then started doing podcasting after that. September 1st, 2016. The Bourbon Show comes out, and December 1st, 2016, the Bourbon Daily comes out. So 2016 is when all this stuff got going. The ABV Network was turned into a company that year as well. So yeah.
Let's turn the question back on to you, Akeley.
Yes.
Why do you think you're successful? And or what does success mean to you?
Yeah, that's good.
Success means to me, I've lived a good life, in that I've lived under my means my whole life. I don't need the ABV Network to be successful. I need something to do. I'm a guy who likes to keep busy. And hopefully if you see this and you know who I am, I do like to keep busy. This is why I publish all the stuff that I do. I write all the stuff I do. I can't be the type just to sit on my ass and watch TV. I don't do that. If I watch TV, I'm got to be working on the computer. I have to be doing something. I can't not be working all the time. So it's an offshoot of that. I think part of the success is the hard work, and the ABV Network feels like a really big company, I think, because we do so much stuff. But in reality, most of that comes from stuff I wrote and things like that. So that's part of the success.
Well, and like McNew alluded to earlier, is you're texting us, you're emailing us, early in the morning, which is great. I mean, I'm up. I think McNew probably is sleeping in, but
right, they're still asleep, but everyone else is here.
We're up, and so you're getting shit done.
I get to work at 8 a.m. But
Yeah.
You're getting shit done though, and you're passionate about it. You wake up thinking about it. You go to sleep thinking about it. Every minute in between's thinking about it all. So I think it comes down to that's why you're successful in it. So
maybe it should be called the ADD network.
What's that? Why?
Attention deficit disorder.
Oh, maybe the other that's part of it. But then the other part is that I put the bourbon, even though everything's focused on bourbon and I live in bourbon and I talk bourbon, in reality, what makes the ABV Network successful? The bourbon takes a back seat to the people. I do believe that that's the key, that I focused on building the community, identifying who likes what I'm doing, and creating things for them. To bring them into the world and do those things. And then you get this loyal following that becomes your advocates. If people like you, they tell their friends. So by nature, that's how you build an audience. That's how you build things up. And so
word of mouth, right?
Yeah.
You are good at finding diverse personalities to have on the shows. Like,
right.
Not myself credit, but you got people that are like, oh, McNew's funny, Becca's sweet, Justine's so nice. Like, you are good at finding people.
Wait, who said Becca was sweet?
Sweet?
I like, you know, like she is.
She is
Rewind.
sweet.
The-
You
here's
know her
the-
in person.
yeah, that's the funny thing is the sweetest person of anybody that we've probably got is probably Becca, but
Right?
she doesn't play that on the show. On the Bourbon Daily, she plays a person who yells at people, is confrontational. Yeah, you think she's just a hard ass, but in reality, she's not.
Well, I'm not
That's a
counting
role she
F-bombs, but she has the most F-bombs in the first 2 minutes that I've ever counted.
Oh yeah. She loves yelling at people too. I think,
but
yeah.
You are good at finding like different personalities that entertain different people. Like, I'm not for everybody, she's not for everybody, but we're for somebody. Like, you know, like, yeah.
I think
I don't know why I keep getting invited back to these deals, but here I am. So
well, I think some of that
I'm for everybody.
comes from the fact in reality, in personal life, I while I'm very outgoing on the shows and at events and at the shop, in reality I'm a shy person. In nature, I'm an observer of people's behaviors and mannerisms and actions, and so that helps you in evaluating who's going to be a good fit.
So, Darren, I want you to hear that when he's talking to you, because if you're going to join the ABV Barrel Shop and he's an introvert, that means he needs you to extrovert for him.
That's what all introverts my whole life have needed. So
there you go.
Yeah, mine too.
But I'm good at getting out and talking to, I mean, literally, there's not a customer that walks in that door, unless I'm busy with something else. There's not a customer that walks in that door that I don't care where I'm at in that shop. I walk all the way to the front of the shop, shake their hand, look them in the eye, ask them where they're from.
It is commendable.
every single time. I can sit there for 6 hours and he'll be doing it every single time someone walks in.
Yeah.
What's Jim doing?
I don't know what he does. He says hi. Not me. That's not good enough for me.
Just acknowledge it would get real awkward real quick, and people would be like, "I don't want to." Yeah, you gotta go.
Yeah. So I just believe in that. I think that yeah. And I come in. I want to learn about them. I want to find out about them and see what they're all about.
Eggley, it's awesome to have them walk through your doors, right? And they went out of their. Maybe they didn't go out, but more than likely they went out of the way to come to your shop and turn in your parking lot and want to walk in and say hi and see what it's all about, man.
It's an honor. I know.
Yeah.
I'm a small business owner. It's an honor that they walk in the door. They've given me a chance for whatever reason. They've come into that shop, and I want it to be a good experience. I never want someone to have a bad experience there where they'll be like, that place was terrible, or those guys are jerks, or hell, I walked in, no one even cared.
So I have a question regarding that. Yeah. Let's say I'm someone who walked in and said, well, I only like Kentucky whiskeys. And you show me some stuff. And they're like, well, I'm really only looking for Blanton's. Uh-huh. And then you're like, oh, I've got a Blanton's. And they're like, really? You got a Blanton's?
Blanton's?
Were you there when I did that? I did do that to one guy. I made fun of one guy. Yeah. I got that guy good. Because he was being a smartass. He's like, he was telling me all the hints. I like Kentucky whiskey. Well, we got MB rolling over there. We got Hidden Barn. One of the hottest Kentucky bourbons right now. And he's like, no, other stuff and that. And I'm like, so I know what he wants. And then he's like, he got smart with me. He's like, hey, thank you for your time. Good luck with your business. So he's saying I can't be successful. So fuck that guy. So I said. And he starts walking out. I said, I'm surprised you didn't ask about the Blantons that we got. And he's like, what? You got Blantons? And I'm like, no, buddy, we don't have any Blantons. And he's like, I don't want that for me. I have friends that actually want that stuff. I was going to buy it for them. I'm like, yeah. You almost, your neck almost snapped there as you turned your head around. So I did get that guy good. But then again, he deserved, because he was like, I know what that means. Good luck with your business. I know what.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, that's like a complete fuck off. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. I was just getting him back. So he started it, and
he's lucky you didn't slash his tires, because I would have done.
Yeah. The funny thing was, we had a full shop there of people, and they all saw it and laughed. So for him. I mean, he had to leave that store with his tail between his legs, because I literally everyone in there heard that thing and was dying laughing at him and his whole action. So I got that guy good. So that was a classic. That was one of my best moments.
Lesson learned.
Yeah. On that note, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Darren, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at The Bourbon Adventures and also quite often at the ABV Barrel Shop.
All right, Kathy.
You can find me on Instagram. I am KK Cask Strength.
Ryan.
Across all socials at 10th MTN Whiskey. And our website is 10thwhiskey.com. That's 10th, whiskey with an E.
All right, McNew.
I'm on Instagram at McNew ABV.
For me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. You got to check that out. Everything that we do is out there. Over 3,000 shows. We got to be moving in on 4,000 at this point, so I'll have to check those numbers, but it's a lot. You can just listen and listen and listen. So check us out, abvnetwork.com. Please come by and see us. We don't have Blanton's, but other than that, if you want to get some good barrel picks, we're the place to find that. The world's only single barrel shop. Arnold, Missouri, which is a St. Louis suburb. Check us out at abvbarrelshop.com. McNew, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I put on more than 1,000 of those 4,000.
You have, yeah. You've got an award behind you to prove it.
But I would like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review. That includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. For audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Cheers.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Last but not least is the ABV Barrel Shop. While we don't get to play in the allocated bourbon game because we aren't selling the other products you have to do to get those, we do have access via our friendships in the bourbon industry to some really cool stuff. Have you ever seen your favorite craft distiller selling some really cool limited offerings only in their gift shop? I'm talking things like the hazmat offering Distillery 291 did for their 10th anniversary, or Neely Family Distillery's Papaw's birthday barrel. They don't have enough of it to send it out to distributors, so they only sell it via their gift shop. Well, companies like Distillery 291 and Neely Family Distillery have agreed to sell us 2 or 3 cases of these offerings moving forward, meaning our store will have the access to some of the rarest whiskeys in the world. Way more difficult to come by than the allocated bourbon offerings with a national release. Yes, they will be extremely tough to come by, but if you're a customer of our store, you'll have a chance to get them. Get signed up for our email or text list over at abvbarrelshop.com so you don't miss out.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.